The insects softly chirped within the forest as the elven parade quietly made their way, lanterns softly aglow. One lone elf, barely a youngling, lagged behind the rest. All orphans were sent to the temples, but in her mind, how was she so unlucky to be chosen by the Highling of the Moon? She knew no magic, and the only thing that set her apart was her long silvery hair that refused to muss or tangle, no matter how roughly she played in the woods. Suddenly, a tree root caught her foot and she tripped, yelping as she did so. Elika, a worried Hylia, ran over to her, long green hair flowing behind her as her purple hood fell back. She pulled her hood back on as she helped the youngling up. "I'm fine," Elika murmured, though she was not. Her blood was spilt on the cool dirt, almost simmering in the light of the moon. "I must treat your wounds at the spring ahead. Please allow me to carry you." "I can do it myself, Miriam," she harshly said, only to stumble as she tried to stand. The Hylier gently picked up the youngling and carried her towards the spring, following the rest of the group. Minutes passed now in the quiet calm of forest sounds, only for even those to fade into silence as they reached the sacred spring of Selenia, the Highling of the Moon. Miriam gently set her down and began taking care of her wounds. This was the first time Elika had seen the spring, and as she looked around, her expression morphed into one of awe. Suddenly, a bright silver glow showed itself from the midst of the waters. The Hyliers gasped and bowed. "I hath not seen thee in years, youngling o' mine. Thine face is much like thine father's." Elika's eyes slowly widened. Was this Hyling her mother? Her father had often told her stories of an ethereal woman who had shown herself one day to him. "Yes, youngling, thy mother is myself." She reached out a glowing hand towards Elika's wounds, healing them. "Come, it is past time for a reunion." Elika cried softly, wrapping her arms around the Hyling's waist, hardly noticing as the sound of water grew in magnitude, before suddenly disappearing, replaced with the sound of an owl. She felt the wind in her hair and slowly looked up, quickly closing her eyes as the wind blew through the feathers of a silver bird with midnight eyes, the forest many miles below her already. "You hath need no fear with me, youngling o' mine." Slowly, she opened her eyes, taking in the sights, the soft lanterns of the settlements, the golden glows reflecting on stones and glass, enveloping everyone in warmth, the distant sounds of laughter and music, and most of all, the sight of a grand castle in the sky, nestled on clouds, yet looking as sturdy as anything on the ground. As the castle came nearer and nearer, the wind whistled louder and louder, and the music faded, only to be replaced by ethereal music heard from the palace ahead. Soon they had landed, and the Highling took her inside. Before Elika could realize what was happening, a servant had whisked her away. Within what felt like minutes, the youngling was dressed in a shimmering blue dress of midnight, sleeves down to her wrists and flowing skirt just above her ankles, paired with dark silver boots and a necklace of the moon. Selenia met her in a grand hall, the music louder than before, now that they were just outside. Elika clung to her newfound mother, their eyes sparkling with blue and silver in the light as they stepped into the room. Suddenly, the music lessened. The youngling shrank back. "Now is the time to rejoice, fellow Hylings, for mine youngling hath been found and returned." The music began anew, now more upbeat and joyous. Laika was finally home.